hey, the mouth is the canary in the coal mine. Like if we're getting cavities, this is other stuff could be going wrong like that, right? So if we're just masking this with chemicals or paste and fluorides and whatever, you could be masking an underlying problem, and we don't want to do that. So long answer to your question, but I think diet is primarily important. And
primarily.
depending on how much that diet is off depends on how important this oral hygiene strategy needs to be.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And yeah, so many things in health, we do cover up the root cause. So that's an interesting way to think of cavities in that way. Now, if somebody, is just hearing this for the first time, they're thinking like, okay, I can't do low carbohydrate diets. Maybe it's not like on their radar just yet. Is there like, you mentioned sugar. Is it fructose? Are there certain carbohydrates that are more egregious, or is it pretty much just carbohydrates ferment? That's kind of what they do.
Are you talking about just with respect to cavities or just overall health?
Let's stick with cavities. Yeah, yeah, we can go down
That's
that rabbit hole too, but yeah, with
that is a
cavities.
lot. That is a big rabbit hole. It's the simple sugars, and there's a few things that really determine how bad it is. One is, the sugar. What is it? Simple sugar. Yeah, those are fermentable in the mouth rapidly, going to convert to acid, drop the pH below 5.5, cause demineralization of the enamel and cavities. Okay, so simple sugar, more surface area than say some complex starch that, amylase is going to start breaking down these starches in the mouth. It's going to drop the pH. It's going to put you at higher risk for cavities, but it's not as high of risk as these simple sugars and refined carbs. So those are primary risk. Secondary importance is frequency. So each time you eat, let's just say some sugar, and one of the worst things is, actually, it's a good way to think about this is like, what's the worst thing you can do for your teeth? And that's kind of how you understand what's, and the worst thing is like sugar, beverages like soda, or like, trying to think of the one that had the greatest, I'm drawing a blank. I think it was Red Bull, like a sugar Red Bull. Anyways, you drink a sugar Red Bull. One, it has the sugar, so that's going to convert to acid. Two, it's a drink, so you're not chewing, so you're not stimulating saliva. Saliva is a protective factor. Three is it's already acidic, so it has malic acid, citric acid. It has acid in it, so it's already an acidic drink. So it's producing acid from the sugar. It's also an acidic drink already. And then if we sip on it throughout the day, these acid attacks, I think it was Red Bull, it's like 27 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever it was. So it causes the acid in your mouth, the pH to drop. So you get a more acidic environment for 30 minutes every sip. And so if you just guzzle it once, you get a 30-minute attack and it's over. Saliva can come in, start trying to help clean up the mess and start remineralizing the teeth. But if you're sipping it every 30 minutes throughout the day, that acid attack goes on all day long. And so it's not only what you are consuming, it's how you're consuming it, drinking versus chewing, and it's how frequently you're consuming it, and then the duration as well. So did you do that once, or do you sip on a Red Bull all day, every day? And so these are the factors that are really going to determine like how bad of a situation you're in.
Yeah, and again, we're just sticking with the mouth, but think about the insulinogenic effect of doing that with that frequency. It's going to have a whole other host of problems. It's ironic too, because the main ingredient that Red Bull is named for is taurine. Where do you get taurine? You could just get it from meat.
Interesting that you mentioned blood sugar, because one very strong correlation is how much it decreases the pH. So how much it makes your mouth more acid is a strong correlation with how much it spikes blood sugar.
Yeah,
So we
wow.
have that kind of direct correlation. And a lot of these things in the mouth correlate strongly with like periodontal disease and heart disease and Alzheimer's. There's a lot of correlations, which I think just all point to what we talked a little bit about, is like this mouth is the canary in the coal mine. Problems happen here first. It's an early warning system. It's like, whoa, diet's off. And then the damage that we see early in the mouth later appears, years, decades down the road, as heart disease or dementia, or et cetera.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And again, we focus on the sugar with the things you shouldn't have, but what about the protein and the benefits of having protein in the diet for improving mouth health?
I mean, proteins obviously we need for all for all kind of total body health as well. And proteins actually get broke down and create an alkaline environment as well in the mouth, so it can actually help remineralize teeth. So these proteins are important when you're chewing protein, like we mentioned, it stimulates saliva. Saliva is going to be your primary remineralization fluid. So we think remineralization, most people's brain goes straight to fluoride, maybe hydroxyapatite if they're like on the cutting edge of like, hey, I need to remineralize my teeth. But really saliva is going to be your go-to thing. So this is why, like we talked about earlier, mouth breathing is just terrible for cavities. And so saliva is basically the pool that's washing your teeth, that's remineralizing, keeping them healthy. And part of having healthy saliva is the vitamin mineral content of the saliva. So your diet plays an important role in creating healthy saliva as well.